Hello, my name is Asana Mackenzie. I decided to shadow Dr. Amy Wood for an entire day so that I could reflect on the life of an administrator. Dr. Wood is the Dean of Graduate Studies at Lenoir-Rhyne University. She oversees all the graduate programs available at Lenoir-Rhyne. The graduate programs are offered at three campuses: the main campus in Hickory, there's a campus in Asheville, and a campus in Columbia, South Carolina. She does give support to all the faculty members at these various campuses, and she does try to visit Asheville and South Carolina as often as is recommended. But she only oversees the entire program. Doesn't She's not allowed. She doesn't have the time or not to be in enough. The campuses are not close enough for her to micromanage them. Uh, Dr. Wood did her master's at Lenoir-Rhyne actually, and she graduated in 1995. And so she described her feeling as coming in as an administrator, as not one of an outsider, so to speak, but even as a newcomer, she felt fairly familiar with the place and with the surroundings and with some of the people that were there before. So it wasn't exactly a brand new feeling for her coming in. The graduate program has approximately 50 faculty members, that have to report or collaborate with Dr. Wood within, the graduate studies program. Shadowing Dr. Wood revealed good information about the organizational structure, how it functions, and how relationships play out. Uh, all the deans in the university report to the provost, and the provost reports to the president, and the president reports to the board of trustees. That is a simplified way of explaining the hierarchical structure that exists among the leaders within the organization. Uh, if you're looking at an organizational chart, it might look a little bit more complicated, but for the basic understanding, that's how it's structured. Uh, During my day of shadowing, I was given the opportunity to attend a provost council meeting. This is where the provost meets with all the deans and various faculty members as well to discuss issues that affect the organization or to discuss changes that need to be implemented, how and when they need to be implemented. The details of the meeting, I'm not at liberty to discuss or reveal. But the meeting did give good insight to how leaders interact with each other. It's a very collaborative meeting. It's hard, even though there is a hierarchical structure, collaboration is emphasized more than hierarchy. The meeting was led by the provost, but at no time did he dominate the meeting per se. He only led and asked questions and facilitated the meeting the best that he could. When I asked Dr. Wood at the end of the day, how would she describe the relationships among the leaders of the organization, she used one word and said collaborative. The meeting confirmed this, as I'd say, everyone was collaborative, full disclosure of information as necessary. No one was overly concerned with their own department. They seemed very focused on how to affect the organization as a whole. So they were very concerned about Lenoir-Rhyne and not just their individual department, even though they did address issues for their individual departments. Conversations with Dr. Wood revealed to me that to implement change within Lenoir-Rhyne is very difficult, especially between her and faculty members that she has to interact with. This, for example, faculty members feel really strongly about their discipline, and any changes that affect them and their discipline, are extremely hard to implement. She said the way she best deals with any such problem is to create a feeling of trust, a team feel, always a collaborative effort, to give. That's the only way to get changes with such, strong feelings involved. She also describes the process as frustrating sometimes to her. I mean, from her point of view as a leader, she's viewing it as having deadlines to meet, and collaboration, as good as it is, and she really appreciates it, sometimes slows down the process, which makes it really difficult, you know, to stay within time frames that are set. This revealed, like, her basic, to me, some of the assumptions she hold about time. You know, it is impossible to tell if everyone holds the same basic assumptions about time. But even at the meeting, 5 minutes before the meeting was scheduled to begin, there were probably two or three people missing, and the room was wondering, where are these people? Where are they? When will they get here? You know. So the time for grace period is seemingly very small, and any adjustments that have to be made within the organization still stick within original time frames. You know, Dr. Wood describes that organizational culture influences the relationship among leaders by creating a lot of opportunity for feedback. You know, there are a lot of committee structures that draws on information from multiple sources. You know, everyone through their own individual decisions realize that they influence the group as a whole, and you know the group experiences those decisions in one way or another, and they're very cognizant, they're very conscious of that fact. You know, when I pose a question to Dr. Wood about the three cultural norms that she believes are taken for granted by people within the organization that a newcomer would need, she only she only specified one, and she stuck to that one no matter how much I probe for more. She said everything stems from relationships, taking the time to get to know someone's role within the organization, as well as taking the time to get to know that person as an individual. That works well. As a newcomer, you can't be too aggressive. Just, what do I need to do? I need to make decisions. The first thing you have to do that a newcomer might not understand from her point of view is that you need to develop a relationship, understand who people are, and let them understand who you are. So there's a time frame of becoming more familiar, creating familiarity for you as a newcomer with those who have been there a long time and who have ways of doing things that you might not be so aware of as a newcomer. Um, we finished up our conversation by discussing, her best experience ever as a leader with Lenore Ryan. And she described the opening of the Asheville Graduate Center as one of her proudest moments. She really sat up in her chair and kind of smiled and proudly said, it's one of the biggest, it's one of the bigger decisions that she's been a part of at the university. And it was a real pioneering effort to create, you know, a whole scale graduate program within Asheville. She was very enthusiastic when she described how some of the major decisions that took place during that process, such as choosing to buy a part of the Chamber of Commerce, the third floor of that building, instead of leasing that most universities do. So that was a big step for them. And then she also was very enthusiastic about deciding to hire a director for the program. Um, she described the feeling as special and inspirational, to be a part of a pioneering experience for the organization. Um, the expansion is the expansion of Lenoir-Rhyne University is happening rather quickly. Within their graduate program, they went from 200 people to over 500, close to 550 in less than 4 years. That's so they're growing at a rapid rate, and with that come changes and challenges that she faces every day. But all in all, it's she loves the experience. She loves being around administration and school. She actually gave up an opportunity. She has a PhD in counseling, and she had a counseling business that she sold and went back to work at Lenoir-Rhyne as an administrator because she loved it so much. And she seems to enjoy the challenge and loves it quite a lot.